to week 4, lesson 5 of the Store Manager Academy. We're going to talk about how you can stand out in a good way among your peers, among your district, and the company that you work for. Many people stand out, right? I'm sure right now you can think of somebody that really stands out as the most annoying person in your district. Or somebody, I know you can think of someone that's a brown noser in your district. Or you can think of a person that's always quiet, that never talks on a conference call. Or you can think about the person that's always brash and unfiltered and rude. You know these people, right? They stand out. How do you stand out? Do you stand out as a nobody? Do you stand out as that person that's brash? Do you stand out as someone that's articulate? That's someone that can speak to the issues and provide solutions? How do you stand out? I want you to really take a moment to think to yourself, how are you standing out right now among your peers and to your supervisor? Remember, we talked about this in a prior training. Your supervisor put you in that position for a reason. They have confidence in you. So don't let them down. You can stand out in a good way. And this is something that I wanted to share with you because many managers just don't realize how they look to other managers, how they look to their DM. I know some managers don't care. I don't care what other store managers think. And that's okay to think that way, but you really need to just get out of your head and look at yourself and say, am I representing the person that I truly am? Is that who I want to be? Is that what I want to be known for? If you can say yes to those questions, good job. Skip to the next lesson. But if you are unsure, or if you say no to some of those questions, then it's time that you make that change. Make the change, stand out in a good way. There's many ways that you can stand out. Let's first talk about your peers, okay? If you're an assistant manager, best way you can stand out is being passionate about the things you really care about, to always be a brand ambassador, to never let your guard down. If you're always talking about upselling, how every customer you help needs to be upsold on an additional item, and then you're out there helping a customer and you didn't upsell an additional item, oh man, you're a fraud. You're a fraud to that person, that associate that just witnessed that, and that's going to spread like wildfire, and you just lost the respect of your whole team. And they're going to be working against you on getting your promotion. Why? Because they think you're a fraud. They don't want you to be a store manager. You weren't practicing what you preach. You don't believe in your own crap. So assistant managers, if you're preaching one thing and doing another, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Stop that right now and practice what you preach. Always be your best self in front of every individual, in front of every associate, in front of your manager, in front of the customers. Never let your guard down. Store managers, how do you stand out among your team? Same principles apply as the ASM, right? You never let your guard down. Always be professional. Always practice what you preach. Can you have a bad day? Sure. But if that bad day, if you decide to go back on your principles, on your values, you're going to have a lot more bad days going forward because you're going to lose the respect of your team. And when you come out with a strong initiative, maybe it came from the corporate office, these are the things that you're going to be working on, your team is always going to remember that one time you went back on the initiative, when you decided you weren't going to follow your own principles. So do not stand out in a bad way. Stand out in a good way. Are you a principled person? Are you always going to support the company initiatives and make sure that you and the team gives it your all before you ever question it? I don't know the answer to that, but those are the types of questions you need to ask yourself. So that's standing out in your store among your peers. What about your direct supervisor? How do you stand out in a good way? Well, it depends on what kind of role you want to play in that relationship. Do you want to be considered for better opportunities down the road, a higher volume store? Do you want to be considered for a new position? be a store manager, a district manager, a corporate position. Well, if that's the case, you're going to need to stand out in a good way. You need to represent what that DM is. If you want to be a DM, you need to show that DM. You need to stand out to that DM as someone that is a great candidate. You need to mirror the attributes of that DM. You need to first be a successful store manager and mirror the attributes and live the attributes of a store manager, but then you need to use some of those skills we talked about in the last couple lessons of really being able to stand out, to think down the road, not just in the present, to be bringing real issues to the DM that need to be addressed, that only you're one of the only managers that are bringing it up, that's affecting the revenue of the store, that's affecting the profitability of the business. That's the type of person that I want to be considered as a DM. That's the type of person, that's the way that I would expect you to stand out. Maybe you don't want to get promoted. Maybe you want to stand out as just being someone that is just top notch. You're always going to kill it. You're going to be number one in every metric, and that's just how it is. You're a competitive person, and you'll stand out that way, and that's a good thing. So at the end of the day, if you get anything from this lesson, know that everyone is watching. Your peers are watching you, your customers are watching you, and your boss is watching you. So never let your guard down. Be true to yourself. And if you ever get out of line, if you ever have a bad day, you need to really just, again, get out of your head, look at the situation. Is that me? Is that what I want to represent? And if it's not, you need to quickly address it and fix it, repair those relationships, and get your team back behind you, get your boss back behind you. Thanks for watching this lesson. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one.